Hello. So, another day, another dollar. I am digging and going deeper into this rabbit hole because this thing that we are experiencing as targeted individuals is deeper than what we see, I want to say that I have a theory that yes, these people are providing some source of energy from us to something or to someone. But what you don't know is that there are multiple dimensions existing right here, right now, all at the same time. But because of each of us being in a different dimension, people and things could be walking right now and you don't see anything. That's why we're I'm seeing different kind of like figures. Sometimes they're gray, transparent. Sometimes they're like shadowy figured. It's a weird thing to explain, but I had a few dreams right here because I, park at the park. In the dreams, I was always in a certain location, but I never saw it before, but yet it felt like I had been there all along. It's because I had. Where I am currently, I believe there are multiple dimensions right here as we speak. And in my dream, I saw two. The dream that I told you about, the woman with the black, the woman with the white, and we were working for this big company, it was right here. And I had a dream about this park, which had a beach and had a playground. It was right here, but just another dimension, but in the same exact spot. And I saw this place in my dream, very good and clear cut. And yesterday, in broad daylight, I saw the same place that I saw in my dream. And I was like, no wonder it felt so familiar. But then I, started to continuously see these shadows. And it's like, I don't know if you ever saw this show called Westworld on HBO. So here's the thing with Westworld. In Westworld, they created these robots to be slaves. They create this painful story for all of them. Some of them, their husbands died. Some of them, their kids got killed. They got raped. They were murdered. This is like a tourism. So humans go to this place and the humans are allowed to rape and kill and murder because these things are just robots and they're not going to remember. But one of the robots, her name was Maeve, and she was a black woman, and played by, I don't think it was Zoe Saldana, but there's the lady that looks like her. Yandy. I don't know her name, something like that. So, the lady who's the robot, every time she dies, she gets taken to this place, and then she gets to be operated on by this guy who's gonna bring her back. And she starts asking him questions. Where am I? What are you doing? But he answers her questions because he believes that, okay, she's just like all the other robots. She's never gonna remember, but she remembers every conversation they had. And one day she says, I want you to allow me to see what's going on. And he says, yeah, it might be pretty scary for you because you're a robot and you don't really know the truth. She said, I don't care how scary the truth is. I want to know the truth. And he says, okay. And in Westworld, it's called Westworld because it's like a Western world. Like they have this whole big fucking place created like, the Westerners, Clint Eastwood type shit. And everything is a robot. And there are sometimes people dressed like Westerners, but they're not the robots. They're just people blending in with the robots. And they're all playing a role. Okay, so the girl, Thandie Newton, I think that was her name, she goes out and she sees that there's fucking flying cars everywhere, and that the world is not what she thought it was. And she goes back and she says, okay, you could reset me or whatever you're gonna do, but the reset don't work on her. So now she knows the truth. She has to go back to this Westworld robotic world that she just lied about, and she remembered. She was not supposed to remember. Her daughter was murdered, and she was murdered. And the thing is that she remembered. And they tried to erase the daughter out of the story. They tried to, make it seem, but she remembered no matter what they did to her. She always remembered. And eventually she escapes this fucking world, and she frees the other robots. And then, they're able to kind of, pretend like being humans to begin with because they always look like regular humans. So you really can't tell what the hell is going on. But basically, in the end, she liberated everybody. But the thing was, everybody was a robot. Every single person, it was a computer. It was an AI that pretty much said, okay, you based on this, you're gonna be this. Based on this, you're gonna be this, you know? And I'm just thinking, like, what if that is what's going on with us? Like, you know, we're told what to believe and what to see and all this kind of stuff. But, like, what if at this very second, this Earth is Westworld, and we're just a tourist attraction for fucking other dimensional beings to come on Earth? And, you know, that's why they need our adrenochrome and us to be scared as targeted individuals, because they're scaring us in order to, you know, I don't know, get a lot of energy to feed whatever things are here for their fucking weird touristic shit. I don't know. But like I said, there is a bigger story to this. But, like, you know, it's just weird. What if we're like Westworld, you know? They told us some lies, but really it's we're experiencing pain over and over and over and over again, because it's a simulation, and this is just, you know, what they gave to us. But I'm gonna be like motherfucking Maeve. I'm gonna break out this shit. These fucking assholes. Then they definitely need your energy. They got this one fucking girl. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, there's some motherfucking perps. The same way that when you're a gang stalker, when you meet somebody, you tell them that you're a gang. The way you tell them you're a gang stalker is you tell them a story like, oh, you know, I used to stalk my boyfriend, or my boyfriend used to stalk me. That's a subliminal way of saying I'm a stalker. The same way when you meet a targeted individual, if they very pressed on perpiness, they are fucking perp. That's how gang stalkers, that's how targeted individuals that flipped over and became perps tell you they're perp, because the way that the rules of the game work is they have to tell you. Even with this guy, I got a new dealer, which I don't really buy weed like that, because they poisoned me before, and they always try to do like code words, because the thing is, like I said, they tell you, but they can't tell you exactly, but they tell you in the code. It's up to you to decipher. So the guy Carl, there's a lot of Carls. His name is Carl. And my boss was talking about a guy named Carl, and he's like, yeah, Carl, we've been knew Carl. Carl does great at his job, you know. Definitely always doing those weird subliminal fucking messages, you know. Then my boss, let me tell you what happened today. My boss called me baby. It was the most awkward fucking thing in the world, because let me tell you what happened. Here's the tea. I don't want to tell it, but I watched porn last night. I watch porn because shit, you know, I'm fucking celibate. I'm by myself. You know, I'm not out here fucking having sex, you know. And when I was watching the fucking porn, you know, afterwards I went to the bathroom to like the next day, and they had this crazy, disgusting old hag keep making fucking sex noise. She's like, I'm so sorry. I can't even do the noise. She was fucking making sex noises. And then, like, under the fucking, on the floor, because it's wet and there's water everywhere, you can easily see somebody's reflection if you just look on the floor. And you can see her, like, opening this fucking flap, trying to, like, make it sound like she's, like, getting smacked in the ass, you know. It was like, what are you doing, you know? And then, my boss kept doing the same thing. He kept grunting. He's like, ugh. I'm like, whoa. What's going on, God? You know, and then they try to perk me today at work. So I tell you, my boss keep trying to make us feel afraid, like we're gonna be replaced. Okay, so what? You know how many times these motherfuckers done started a company, bitch? A lot. They have a pattern. They done been shut down a bazillion times, child. So I'll be looking at patterns, child. But anywho, this fucking guy is grunting at work. My fucking boss is like, oh, you know, every time he's done something, he's like, you know, trying to play it off. Then this girl, this big fat ass girl, he tells her, a girl's finna be coming up here for an interview, and I want you to open the door. I said, sure, no problem. I ain't hear nobody knock on the door, so bitch, I ain't open it. So he opening the door, and he literally leans in, tells the girl a few things, and you can see like the little through the crack. You can see him giving her kind of like some quick instructions. I guess I was probably not supposed to see it. And when she come in, she looked right at me. Like, bitch, so what? I know your big fat ass is looking, bitch. You need to be looking at a motherfucking diet menu, fat bitch. Anyways, so they perked me, whatever. I don't care. But that's not the tea. The thing was, I came in this morning, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, baby. I'm like... Anyways, So let me go back to my desk. You know what I mean? They like I said, that I already know all the little tactics they choose. Like when I say they do the same tactics, even down to the girl having the problems. They did the same thing to me at the last 2 jobs. They always have a motherfucking girl there who got some problems. The first time, it was this black girl. She looked kind of ghetto, kind of hood, you know, and you know she looked like she had some problems. She's like, yeah, I'm just working, you know, I'm out here trying to get this money. But in the end, she kind of ended up envying me, because what they do is they kind of like try to frame me, and they direct the energy. They direct the energy of the job. So what they do is, the first couple of days, like, I don't know if you know, when you go to the casino, when you're winning, you feel good. You have a high. That must produce some sort of emotion. But when you start losing, and you lost more than what you ever had too, this feeling on you is so terrible. And that's what they need to feed on. They need that feeling. That's why they build you up. That's why they, you know, send you to a job and everything seems so perfect at first. And then they just, boom, switch on you, because it is an energy they're trying to harvest. Notice your actions. Every little thing that you do, you have to really pay attention to it. They're not sensitizing us. They're trying to study us to see what is going to get the most energy out of us. So they do certain color sensitizations, because they want you to be afraid when you see those colors. They do little gestures. They mimic. You know, they honk. They do all types of weird shit. That is because everything is just to learn. But around the time that I'm telling you, when these things come out and feed, or whatever they need this energy for, they increasingly and aggressively start gang stalking you, because they already know, based on everything, what ticks you off. Maybe they're reading your biometrics because you're touching your phone, and maybe when you touch your phone can read your fucking heartbeat and shit like that. Maybe they have some sort of fucking radar that could just look at human bodies. I don't know, but these are facts that I'm saying right here. This is how they do the gang stalking. They're feeding something. They make it seem like it's just, oh, Illuminati, Freemasons. Illuminati and Freemasons, them bitches worship something. Even the motherfucking stupid ass Scientologists worship something. They worship some motherfucking aliens. How the fuck we don't know these bitches ain't out here feeding them aliens our motherfucking energies and shit? You understand what I'm saying? We don't know. I'm just saying. So, I feel like we need to watch ourselves. My theory is proving to be true. I'm seeing things that I've never saw before. And you know what I mean? I don't care about what these people think. These people will never tell me the truth if their lives depended on it. They will keep lying to me because they don't want me to know the truth. But I want to know the truth. Because the only way we're going to be free is by knowing the truth. We're thinking we're fighting these fucking stupid pagans, but them bitches being fucking sucked like a goddamn person being sucked by a mosquito themselves. Because I've been seeing those fucking entities that I'm telling you that are sucking our energy. Let me tell you, every time we make them bitches mad, whatever they're trying to do to us goes to them. They need our energy. But if we don't give them the energy and we reverse it on their ass, they're the ones with their spiked up fucking whatever they're trying to do. And whatever's trying to feed is going to feed on their asses. Because trust me, this thing doesn't give a shit. I know that. That's why everybody's being gang stalked. Because it's not a one energy thing. It's like we selected a few people from society that we believe may possess more of this energy, or more concentration of this energy, so we don't have to make everybody be subjected to this. So we're going to just choose these people. They're going to be the sacrifices that have to, you know, do whatever to feed whatever. So power down. That's what I've been trying to do. Powering down, you know, not allowing them to get me, because they already know what gets me mad and stuff like that. So you know what you got to do? Don't get mad no more. You don't even know what it means. It's just nothing to you. And you just let it go, because they need your fucking energy. They need it. I want to know what happens when the battery dies, because bitch, I'm not powering nothing no more. I want to see what happens. Don't you? Oh, some more tea. My motherfucking boss owns a company and owns a fucking condo 10 minutes away from my ex-husband's. 10 minutes. Within 10 minutes by car, bitch. Walking distance probably 20, 30 minutes. And I know, because I done passed that motherfucking place so many fucking times. And my ex used to love going there. Not only is the guy associated with my ex's high school, which is Spanish River, but he also lives in the same neighborhood. Like I said, I know there's a lot of coincidences. I know that. It's a small world after all. But there's no way that there could be this many fucking coincidences. Do you understand me? There's no way. There's no way that the stars could keep aligning all the time, only to fit into my agenda, only to make me look the victim. Because it's looking that way. But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You gotta see beyond the lies. But they got this girl, her name Candy Grand Prix, I don't know what her name is. But the girl is a perp. And she's crazy. Let me tell you why. Number one, she's mentally ill. It's very easy to manipulate mentally ill people. Number two, the same exact tactic that I told you they do, they want to see what's going to happen to you. So this girl, she feared homelessness. She feared being on the street. So they would help her with her Social Security. I said, oh yeah, we'll help you. We'll help you, you know, get Social Security. And she did get it. And also, we'll help you, you know, with something else, whatever. And she's like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. And they did help her. The problem was when it came time to help her, this time they didn't help her because they were setting her up for the okie doke. Like I said, in the gambling, they keep letting you win because they need you to have enough of that energy from winning. And then they start making you lose because you have this really bad kind of like, you know, feeling on you. And they, whatever is feeding off of us needs that feeling because that's why everything works the way that it works. Everything is based on a high and it crashes down. Even with the honeypots. When they set you up with a honeypot, everything's perfect. The person was nice, great fucking sex, seemed caring, but all of a sudden, they just totally change on you. It's literally like day and night. But that's why they do it because they're setting you up for the love, for the emotion, for the high. And then they crash you down because the crash down is where they get their most energy. You see? So they got this girl, Candy. They're like, oh yeah, you know, everything's all good. We're going to pay for your hotel. And all she has to do is keep begging. And she was perping because she was perping me hard. Talking about God ain't real and I ain't got no powers. And now they perping her out here. And she was admitting that they were reaching out her, trying to make her be a perp. They didn't reach out. She was already a perp. And then not only that, another girl, who I ain't gonna say her name, but she lives in Colorado, the girl kept saying that she's a perp. She kept saying that she's a perp, and I believe it because let me tell you, one thing that perps like to do is they do this thing. Like I said, the high, then the low. When you meet another targeted individual, you're psyched up a lot because you're like, damn, I you know, it's, yeah, we're isolated. And we don't really talk to anybody. It's good to meet somebody in my shoes. When you comment on their lives, they're going to purposely kind of like ignore you or gaslight you. But the first couple times, they're going to talk to you. The first couple times. But then when you kind of like get comfortable, they kind of like seem like they're trying to egg you. That's because it's a setup. It's to make you believe like, oh, you know what I mean? You found a good TI, but really you're a goddamn perp. You know? That's something that they do to kind of like I said, they need that emotion from you. That girl, they did the same thing to her too. That's why I would never be a perp because it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. These people have no morals. They have no integrity. You can't make no deal with somebody like that. That's the truth. Because here's the thing. They told this girl, you know, they helped her with her hotel, and then eventually they chose not to help her anymore because they wanted to see how bad is life when you're on the street, bitch. Are you gonna be extremely, you know, crazy? Because we know that, you know, that's what's gonna get us to where we need to get for the energy. Same thing with the other girl. The girl was doing good, working another job. All of a sudden, she got some pain, and you know, they set her up. They was like, all right, bitch, now you got pain. You ain't gonna get no fucking painkillers from the doctor, bitch. You know, and That's what they do to all the target individuals. Like I said, they all have the same rhetoric. They say, "Oh, I'm not a target." Like when they keep asking you if you're a target or they worry about people being targets, they're fucking perp for sure. But that's what I've been learning. They need your energy. They need our energy. But they need it at a certain time. So they build you up with high expectations, and then they purposely get you mad in order for you to kind of like release that energy and your frustrations and stuff like that, because some entities are feeding on us that we cannot see. I don't know how this is possible, but anything is possible. Trust me, I know. This might sound crazy, but somewhere there's a motherfucker that already done explained this scenario that I'm explaining, that there's multiple dimensions existing here at the same time, and we are coexisting and living with each other, but we just can't see each other for some reason. But one of them, or there's a way where some of them could come to this world, and something is feeding on us. That's why they're doing this, to do some sort of energy harvesting. So I'm powering down. I suggest you do it too, because like I said, I want to see what happens when the battery runs out. I want to see what happens. Literally, it's like the Matrix, it seems like it's crashing. I swear to God, like, if you see what's around me, like, I could never see these little entities kind of sort of like, I mean, I could see sometimes something like demons or spirits, but like, this is different. Like, it's literally not a spirit. It's something else, just in another dimension or plane, at the same time coexisting with us. You know, I know it. And I know I sound crazy, but someone gang stalking you for no fucking reason and taking your children and fucking making you homeless just because of a fucking experiment that the government is doing, that sounds even crazier. But yet it's real. So if you can believe that, then you can believe this. Power down. Don't allow these people to take our energy. If you want to see the truth, I want to see the truth. I want to see what happens when this matrix crashes. They said there's a glitch in the system. I want to see what happens when there's a glitch.